sure you're going to give me a very long answer to a very short question, but what is better, training at home or at the gym?
Training at the gym in almost all cases. Yeah, unless you've been lifting specifically for what, 3 to 5 years, then you have absolutely no business training at home. I say lifting specifically because you shouldn't go to the gym to do cardio. That's just pathetic. Like, there's a road outside, use the road. But no, lifting, and you need to be lifting 3 to 5 years before it's training at home is even something you should consider. Because what happens is people, when they train at home, the convenience factor makes it so they skip workouts left, right, and centre. Because if the kit's just there, and say you're a bit delayed, you're working, doing your laptop, you're part of the laptop class, you're working from home, a bit late, delayed at work, and it's do you know what? I just can't be asked. I'll just do it tomorrow, or I'll do it later, or I don't know. You train at home, and the kids are kicking off. It's like, okay. Well, I'm supposed to be training now. I'll push it back a bit later. I'll just push it back a bit later, and then you push it back a bit later, and it just doesn't get done.
Mm.
And then you're out of routine because Monday's training has now been shifted to Tuesday, which means Tuesday's training gets shifted, and so on, which means workouts get dropped. Um, and you drop enough workouts, eventually the whole thing stops. Everything stops with training. I've got experience in this actually. Like, before I started training properly, it's still 2009, but the early part of 2009. I don't count this as training because it didn't last very long at all. I bought a weight set from Argos. It was like £99, and it had like one of those little thin chromed barbells and some cast iron plates, like 30 kilos of cast iron plates, and a pair of squat stands. And I diligently, it was January, and I wrote all the days that I was going to train. So I had Monday legs, Tuesday chest, Wednesday arms, and I wrote it all down for the whole month. And I did about 3 of those workouts before I just stopped. And like I say, this is the case for almost everyone I've ever met. Um, the other side of it is that you don't really know what kit you need for a home gym until you've got a good enough experience in the gym, in the proper gym.
Before you go on to kit,
Yeah,
can I just share my little story
go on
about
then.
this? I remember when our eldest daughter Connie was born. I think I tried training at home, but as you say, when like baby cries, you stop, or when you get a bit uncomfortable, you stop. And I ended up going out at like it was what, 6:30 in the morning, and I had to have to get in the car, drive the 25 minutes to the gym. And by the time I'd got to the gym, there was nothing stopping me walking into the gym.
No.
And so the hardest part was, just getting in the car, because we had to find a block where
Well, yeah.
you weren't
So
working.
it forces you to carve out. That's the thing about going to the gym, is it
Yeah,
forces you to elevate training to a level with work effectively, so that it's something you don't. It becomes a non-negotiable because you have to carve out the time.
yeah,
And if you're particularly weak-willed or not especially bothered, then that will be a barrier to training. But then you're not going to train at home anyway.
no,
You are beyond hope
yeah, that's,
if that's you,
yeah,
But pretty generally, it's good to get into the habit. That little discomfort and of forcing you to carve out the time is what actually seals the habit.
yeah, a
So
decent chunk. Anyway, back to the kit you'd need in a
yeah,
home gym.
home gyms are expensive nowadays. I remember, well, certainly since like COVID and the subsequent money printing bonanza, price of training equipment's gone through the roof. I remember I kitted out my personal training gym with 2 of barbells, squat racks, benches, all that stuff,
Hmm.
and I think it only cost me about 2.5 grand plus about 300-400 kilos worth of plates.
Yeah, and all the like floor matting and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
the
you did
whole
it really
thing. Yeah,
well.
the whole thing cost about 2.5 grand.
Yeah.
This is back in 2017. And now, I remember when we were looking for some 20-kilo plates for my mum, and they were like £200 each or something, weren't they?
There were a lot of money, and that was just like
Yeah.
what, 22, 23 we
No, it
bought
was
this.
2021 that
Oh, it was
was. Yeah,
21. Yeah,
it was peak everyone hiding under their beds lest they get a cold.
yeah,
But yeah, the things are really expensive now. So you're gonna you need to get the right stuff. You need to know what a quality barbell is.
hmm,
What you like in a bar, what you don't like in a bar. Before, because if you buy the wrong barbell, that can really kind of screw with your enjoyment of training. Like the one we've got that's a holdover from the gym, actually, it's a little bit stiff for my liking. And if I would probably prefer one with a little bit more whip in it. Um, but obviously I make do. But obviously I much preferred to have spent a bit of money on the barbell with a bit more whip, that sort of thing.
Mm.
Likewise, the supplementary equipment that you need. Do you like doing a kind of old timey strongman lifts? In which case you probably want to pick up some kettlebells, or are you more into more bodybuilding style training? Well, then a set of adjustable dumbbells will probably do you right. Somewhere to do pull-ups. All of these things you have to factor in, and you can only factor in your preference once you've been at the gym for long enough. Oh, another thing like weightlifting machine handles, or do you even need weightlifting machines? If you
Mm.
like weightlifting machines, you're probably going to want to buy a multi-gym. But then which handles do you like? Will you buy the right handles? All of these things.
I was going to say, I think my instinct in the first instance was just to buy a multi gym and be like, oh, well, that does everything. And now we don't even use
Well, no, we don't. We don't
anything
need. We
like
don't.
that.
No, we get by with a barbell, a rack, some very light dumbbells for you mainly to do
Mm.
like tricep bits
Arms
and
work,
stuff, arm
yeah.
bits and stuff, and a pull-up bar
Yeah,
and a weighted vest.
it's a cage rack, isn't it?
Well, it's power rack, yeah, and
Yeah,
a pull-up bar and a weighted vest. That's enough kit for us to use at home gym. But those pieces of kit are built as a product of my training philosophy, which you
yeah,
have since adopted.
yeah,
But I know my way isn't the only way to do things, and I understand other people want different kit. But the point is, they have to develop the experience to know what they want and build their own training philosophy, and then get the right bit of kit to service that.
yeah.
Uh,
So then, if our dear listeners are in the 3 to 5 years of experience that they need to get before they can train at home, what sort of gym do you recommend people join?
Oh, what? So people who need to go to a gym? That was a terribly
Yeah.
phrased question, Jess. Yeah. So if they need to go to a gym, um, then really, I would give a very different answer if you'd asked me this 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, I would have said, oh, without question, go to a warehouse gym, powerlifting, bodybuilding gym. But now that those places are, uh, they've been infiltrated with this very strange culture, very posery culture, influencery culture. Lots of ladies there not wearing very much, filming promotional content for their OnlyFans and things like that that you get at
Mm.
these warehouse gyms now. I don't know why it is very misogynistic of me, but I suspect it's a lot to do with female infiltration of traditionally masculine spaces,
Yeah.
and they've adapted to cater to the muscle mommy
Mm.
thing that seems to be popular at the moment, which is very creepy and loved by men who probably shouldn't be allowed within half a mile of a school. Um, so there's that. So instead, I would actually say to go to a cheap big box gym like a Pure Gym or something,
Mm.
because in the olden days you wouldn't want to go there because they didn't have the kit. But now they actually have generally better kit than a lot of the warehouse gyms. Like a lot of warehouse gyms make do with kind of crappy secondhand stuff, which again is absolutely fine, does the job. But Pure Gyms now, I'm absolutely shocked. We drove past the one in York, and I looked through. It's got big glass front windows,
Yeah.
and I could see in, and like they've got like proper high end strength and conditioning kit. A proper. I don't know if they've got a prowler track, but I've seen one with a full on prowler track and sleds and loads of barbells and squat racks, all that sort of stuff.
There are still gyms out there, I think
Well, hang on,
possibly.
they're also large enough that they're
Mm.
anonymous too. So if there will be posers, there will be electronic prostitutes, there will be all of these things in the gym that you will get at a warehouse gym, but they're not so large, they're not so small that you notice it. And a
Yeah.
lot of the kind of the catty culture just isn't there.
Yeah, because they're not about the culture, are they? They're there
No,
to provide a service,
yeah, they
whereas a
provide
warehouse gym is
comes a community. They push this kind of community
community
thing,
thing. Yeah.
which again was historically something you only get with CrossFit boxes and stuff.
Hmm.
But now it's in all the gyms. They want to push the fact they've got this kind of community, which if you're anything like me, just a bit cringy.
Is a CrossFit gym? I think I know the answer to this, but a CrossFit gym's not like a regular gym,
Some of them
is
are.
it?
Some of them are. Some of them are like a warehouse gym with some gymnastics rings. CrossFit is such a gargantuan thing that and I don't know enough about it to say what CrossFit gyms
Mm.
are or aren't. I know I know people who have trained in them who've done really well. It's not the sort of environment that I would enjoy because I understand there's quite a class emphasis and it's kind of the training style itself is quite heavy on the Olympic lifts, which I'm not coordinated
Hmm.
enough or interested enough to learn. Um, so yeah, it's not kind of my thing personally, but they're fine.
I was going to say the council gym I joined when we moved here didn't have squat racks, did it? So do you have a basic list of equipment that
Oh
a
yeah,
gym should have for you to join?
gym should have barbell and squat rack at least probably two or three.
Mm.
You know, just one. I remember my university gym just had one squat rack and then like some squat stands that you could use on a deadlift platform. That wasn't enough because there were days when I could spend 15, 20 minutes waiting for the rack to come, half an hour for the rack to become
Mm.
free. Now, obviously, I was a student, so I don't have anything else on, so it's not a problem. But obviously, as a working person with a wife and children and limited time to train, that would be an issue now. So you want kind of plenty of barbells, plenty of racks.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, that's kind of it really, because if it's got those two things, it'll have everything else.
Everything else?
All the machines that you want, somewhere to do chin-ups, bands, balls, whatever you want. Like if a gym is of a mind to equip itself with
To be a
multiple
gym,
Olympic
yeah.
bars, squat racks, and plates to furnish those, it will have everything else that you need.
Cool.
It's gyms that don't have those. Generally, there's kind of two types of gym. Really, there's gyms that have that want you to be strong and safe, and there are gyms that don't.
Do you have any advice then for people who have a gym in their garage that is just gathering dust?
Get gym membership. Get into the habit.
Great.
Yeah, yeah, get a gym membership because you're obviously not training because it's in the garage. It's too convenient. You're not trained long enough to earn the right to train at home. So go get a bloody gym membership.
Yeah,
Put 3 to 5 years in at the gym, then maybe start training at home again. That would be my advice.
cool. Anything else on the home versus gym
No,
question?
not really. Most people should train in a gym. You have to earn the right to train at home. Yeah, that's it really. Not a lot more to it. And I'm tired. So I'll leave it there by saying if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, join all 12 of us. It's a merry little crew. I understand that none of them are my mum,
Excellent.
which is or Jess, which is good. But better than that would be to subscribe to my daily email newsletter, which you can do by typing in philtimon.co.uk into your browser, following the on-screen instructions. Because I'm a far better writer than I am speaker, and yeah, I want to sell you stuff too, because I don't work for free. Anyway, that'll do for today, and yeah, speak to you next time.